everybody, it is Wednesday, my dudes. We have no Robert today because he accidentally, well, I'm not going to say he fried it because I don't know the specifics of it, but his power supply has become fried. As somebody who also spent an hour last night troubleshooting the Windows 32-bit time service not working on my computer, I'm very sympathetic to any technical support issues at the present moment. So all I say is I wish him the best, and I hope that he gets it all fixed up. Did you make it work? No, it's all bogus, dude. The service won't freaking start, so I go to services.msc, run as administrator. There's no buttons to click to start it, so I go to the command line, and I say W32 unhook. I don't even remember what the command is, and it says access denied. So I don't even understand how the thing freaking works. But it seems like that probably what is happening is I need a new CMOS battery on my motherboard. However, I am not going to open the case just so I can change that and play Valorant, especially when you consider that this might not even be what's fricking up the Vanguard anti-cheat to begin with. At some point, a man's just gotta know his limitations, and that game is not worth it. I mean, it might be great, don't get me wrong, but it's not worth... It takes a lot for a game to be worthy of cracking open the case and putting the new thing in the motherboard as a troubleshooting issue, when 99.9% of the other games I play work completely. Anyway, we're going to start today with Super Mario Maker 2 because they made new Super Mario Maker 2 stuff, new content, new upgrades, and etc., etc. But first, I am going to play... well, I have to update my console apparently first. But I am going to play Apollo's Super World first. I have been challenged by Apollo. He said NL. Well, he said Ryan, because we're friends. He knows me. He said it would be fun content for you to try to work through my super world. If you are not familiar with what a super world is an overworld in Mario Maker 2 consisting of many worlds. So World 1 is the super easy one. World 2 gets a little tougher. And I believe World 3... starts to get some checkpoint league levels. You get 99 lives. We'll do our best. Following that, if you'll excuse me here. Look at that. The new update. Following that, we'll play some Dark Souls 3 and beat the Nameless King. How about that? I did hear Bear Taffy's rap. Hello, Bear Taffy. I saw your rap. You may have seen that I responded to you as, this is the world premiere. You can now play Super Worlds. No. I took that as the highest level of praise. You should. It is a To Pimp a Butterfly reference. You're not wrong. Okay. How do I get to this man's super world? How do I get to his super world? He has a world. Do I just hit play here? You just hit play on his profile? Alright. Super Roof World. Help. Oh, that's beautiful. This is a beautiful thing. All right, early Apollo levels. Wolf 1, slip and slide. Oh, baby. It's a classic. Woo! Yahoo, by the way. Okay. Played this level a lot somewhat recently. I remember. It is a level where you hold down. If you can accomplish that, the world is your burrito. Dude, I finally, like, I don't watch trailers for games very frequently. Kate put on the trailer for the Super Mario Maker 2 update last night, and I was like, these guys have added a lot of stuff. Like, forget all the extra Koopas, like that. I could not care less about, like the Koopa Troopa, Ludwig von Koopas in the game. But the fact that you could put yourself as Super Mario Brothers 2 Mario, which allows you as well to, Wahoo, by the way, like stand on platforms. Or stand on any object and then pull it up by its feet. That's some good stuff. That's some interesting stuff. All right, look at that. I guess we should try to actually get the one up on the gate, huh? Do 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 do. Ramp. Apollo hates it already. That's the like when you're the creator, you have the right to hate it. It's like the difference between like how I feel in Adobe Premiere Rush and how like an actual video editor feels about Adobe Premiere Rush. They're like, I can't unlink tracks. I can't do circle crops. I can't do anything. For me, I'm like, haha, something something goes burr. Haha, easy edits go burr. I remember this one. Oh. I remember this one. You free me, and then you go dunk, 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 dunk. It's so weird seeing spinies in these levels that you don't bounce on. Oh, I actually died. I can't believe it. How embarrassing. I was listening to that. Donk, donk, donkey, donk. I think the first time we played these levels... Like, did we play that level on Unity and someone rage quit it? Now this is a bop. Why isn't this used in more levels, dude? There you go. Okay, no problem. There's a note block, baby. Oh yeah, Mouth playing through his capture is bad. There's that's gonna cause problems with this level for sure. All right, I already like that one. So far, so good. Is it what's up with the ninjas here? Is it like the ninjas tell you how many people made it through that section? They're just cool ninjas, dude. Don't be weird. Yo, Cannonball Chaos as level 3. Now that's a trip. I was watching Apollo play a little bit of this last night. It brought me back a little bit for sure. But I was also laughing because like he was tearing himself a new butthole over how much he's improved as a level designer, and I was like, man, this is Dan's like favorite level ever made. Oh, forgot how to do this part. I was like, you dare insult your own level at the expense of our good friend Daniel Giesling? That being said, he's definitely right. I think that he has made some quality of life improvements in his levels over the years. His levels feel tighter for sure. Oh, come on. We were so close. We should have done a bigger jump. You can't afford to screw up 2 cannonballs there. I short hopped one, but the short hop was on purpose. I thought maybe I could cheat the system, but even old Apollo was too smart for that. Dan also thinks Kid Icarus is the best NES game. He does for some reason. Oh, come on. Just let it go. Dan does simp for Kid Icarus a little bit. There's no doubt about that. But apparently, like, once you get past the climbing section, it's not that bad. Hope Palatina sees this, bro. You think that's good enough? The answer was no. The gondola has departed. That should do it. I should have jumped on the one on the side first. Dude, honestly, I think I've been playing too much Mario Maker. The thumb muscle in my hand hurts yet again. You know which one I'm talking. The one where you squeeze the controller. I'm getting some fatigue. Captain Falcon thumb. It's like I just have respect for my body that I didn't have when I was younger. Everybody's like, you're getting older. It's like half that, but it's more like when my hands hurt, I'm like, I should stop doing whatever it is that's making them hurt so that I don't end up like not being able to use my hands when I'm 43. Free one up, dude. Okay, it's all right. Take it up. We're just gonna take it up. You think you're gonna make it to 43? What a strange comment. That probably came across as better in your head than it did on the page. I do believe that I will probably make it to... The odds are I will probably make it to 43 years of age, yes. That's my expectation. That hurts. Okay. 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 Get past the lactic acid buildup. We're back at the top. Time to do this for another 10 minutes until we time out! Come on! I don't think we're high enough on this one. You know what? I think Apollo's right, actually. I'm gonna tell you straight up. I think I trust the master when it comes to Cannonball Chaos. He has come a long way. There's a lot of creativity in this section, don't get me wrong. But with the benefit of age, I actually think that not one of my favorite Apollo sections, to be honest. You just take a minute. Malf almost lost his mind doing this. Well, I mean, I think I almost lost my mind doing this as well. I mean, it's not like... It's not bad, but... The desync kind of makes you want to throw your Nintendo Switch in the dishwasher. It's just a little desync-related gaffe. Good. Good. And we'll go back down again. Hey, NL, how's your Wednesday going? Honestly, it was good. It still is, but it was as well. No, not making that one. Just wait this one out a little bit. I've had a good Wednesday so far. Not gonna make it to the top on that one. So do you just, do we just jump into a chomper or something? What was for lunch? We're a little bit light on the old grocery situation. Maybe we go far right on that one. Getting a little light on the grocery situation. I gotta get some groceries tonight. I've just had like 2 Builder's bars today. 2 Builder's bars today, and a lot of water. That's pretty much where we're at. I call it intermediate fasting. It's not the same as intermittent fasting. It's just fasting 50%, which is also known as eating. You freed me. Thank you. If Wednesday is solo, does that mean Thursday is going to be an NLSS? No. So here's the thing. The people involved with the NLSS do not work for me. I've been meaning to talk about this little side of the industry for a while. If Rob's power supply does not work today, I do not go to my good friend Robert and say, Robert, that's okay. Take today off. You can make up the time tomorrow. He's his own man who has his own things to do in life. And if you would like to be, if one person would like to be on the show, then I say that's cool. We'll build a docket together, and we'll do a show. It has been trickier to get guests, but the reason it's been trickier to get guests for the NLSS is because the people involved with the show are taking more time to do their own thing, which I'm 100% supportive of. So there were, years where like 8 people a day would be like, I want to be on the show today. It was very easy to get big shows going. Now people are like, once a week, maybe twice a week on occasion is pretty good. Maybe once every 2 weeks is good. But for the rest of the time, I kind of got to focus on building up my own stuff instead. And I support that 100%. I also like streaming solo, to be honest with you. I like both of them, but I like streaming solo as well. Uh-oh, a heartbeat? Oh, you son of a bitch. I forgot about this part. Okay, you bounce on his head. You bounce on the cannonball. You bounce on his head. You bounce on the cannonball. You bounce on his head. You bounce on the cannonball. You hit the switch with your head. And then you go up. Yeah, okay. He's done it. He's done it. Thank God we're out of that. Still got 99 lives, by the way. We'll move on from there. No death, any percent. Now that Cannonball Chaos is over, we probably won't die ever again. It's my expectation. That took Bear 20 minutes today? It took me 11 minutes. It's still that's still tough. That's not an easy task. I would never shame anybody for their performance on Cannonball Chaos. Good stuff. I love a good spin jump. Who doesn't love a good spin jump? Oh, that's painful. Just the boss took 20 minutes? Look, everybody's got stuff that they're good at and bad at in this game. Like, for example, I think it's fair to say that low grav last week, not my strong suit. So this week I dedicated some time to practicing that. So that I'm good to go if we ever have a low grav level in Checkpoint League again. Woo! What's Dan good at? There's a couple of things that Dan is particularly strong at in a Mario Maker context. One is keeping his disposition high, so he's always playing at peak performance. Now, his level of peak performance is definitely below everybody else's level of peak performance. However, he's completely unshakable. I mean, what more do you need? That's pretty strong. I think he was shook after one of the levels. I mean, he's only human, you know? He should be shook. The man has not gotten a single checkpoint. Oh, I remember this one. This is it's the seesaw level. It may even be called Seas and Saws, if I remember correctly. That is not shade on Dan. People they're obsessed with the heel turn. What do you want me to say? The most heel thing you could say about Dan, I play him this week. I'd be like, oh, I think he's probably gonna pog off and beat me this week. The man has no checkpoints and no wins. I'm giving an honest appraisal. It's like if a team that was like 15-1 was playing a team that was 1-15, and they went, you know, they're not that good and will probably win, but I admire certain elements of them. That's not BM. That's an honest answer. That's just data. It's only sports BM because the average sports interview is like, on any given Sunday, anything can happen. You know, I know that we're predicted to win by 100% of the sports books out there. Okay, just steady on. Oh, that's beautiful. I'm with you. Part of chat is a baby about it. If you don't lie, they're like, why are you being toxic? I, personally, as a human being, a big thwomp, by the way. What is this, easy mode? As a human being, and as a man, I would be way more annoyed if I was a heavy, like, underdog. I would be way more annoyed by the favorite being like, you know, anything can happen. I just call it like it is. I'm shit. And if I win, then I get way more praise as a result. Look at that. First try. OTI. That one's not gonna work. It is literally possible. I'll give you that one. I did watch Apollo play this last night, and he was like, this jump should not be in the level. And I was like, I will say, although I'm certainly better now than I was when we played this for the first time, like a year ago, there was a little element of me that was loving life, watching Apollo play his own levels and be like, hey, this part is actually a little bit unfair. Whereas a year ago, he's like, it's not that hard. Now he's like, You know what? I could have made this a little bit easier. Oh, and then he has the heartbeat jump. Okay, I remember elements of this. Certainly remember elements of that. And then gadunk. It wouldn't be me playing an Apollo level if I didn't die to the heartbeat saws. That's just science. The heartbeat saws get me every time. I do hate that jump, though. I wonder if you could do a duck jump on it. Just a callback to last Friday. Exactly. I thought we were going to eat it on that one, actually. Oh, that was fast enough. I'm surprised. Speaking of heartbeats, how do you feel about the knife? Because they are a critically acclaimed band from the mid-2000s, I'm for them. I like the song that goes, "For proper hit of a bomb, and we wouldn't be good enough." I know the knife. I like every Swedish export. Prove me wrong. The knife, Robin, Kanakabrod, particle board furniture from IKEA that cost $22. ABBA, sure. Surströmming, that's not really like an export. That's a meme. Not socially distancing. That's not an export. That's they're making that one in-house. The flag? I think it's a good flag. Makes for some sick hockey jerseys too. I'm starting to realize I hate this section again. Peter, Bjorn, and John, of course. I told any band that's critically acclaimed from the mid-2000s, you son of a bitch, chime in. Any band since then that has pogged off, I've never heard of them. Oh, dude. Okay. This section's still tough. But didn't this take me 90 minutes last summer? We've come a long way. The Refused? This guy thinks I don't know the shape of punk to come. That's an OME, not a UM, by the way. Woohoo! Gotta have a little bit more momentum in the easterly direction there. What's the best looking flag? So this is a homer pick. I wouldn't say it's the best flag, but I do like the Canadian flag because it's unique. I like the American flag as well. I like any flag. Like, you're not going to be happy with me if you're from, like, a European nation that follows this convention. Any flag that is 3 colors in stripes, either horizontally or vertically, like, redesign it. Get with the times. I know it's got a lot of history in it, but, like, get with the times. Redesign that. Hire Banksy and make a new flag. They're very similar. Hard to tell them apart at a glance, etc., etc. I like a lot of unique flags. I think the Japanese flag is a very cool flag. I think the Vietnamese flag is very cool. I think that the South Korean flag is very cool. I'm not a big fan of the ones that are just like variations on the Union Jack, which Canada's flag used to be before the 1960s. What's your favorite state flag? California has a bear on it, which I think is pretty sick. That's about the only state flag I really know. Does Washington's have a big tree in the center? I'm kind of down with that as well. Provinces do have flags. Again, this is a homer pick. Well, I would say, like, in terms of being iconic, the Quebec provincial flag is definitely the most iconic. But I think BC is really good as well. It's like the rising sun with the stripes on it. A lot of the other provinces, including Ontario where I grew up, are like, it's red and it has, you know, a trillium on it. And you're like, okay. It's red and it has canola on it. New Brunswick's got a pretty good one. Ain't denying that. But the BC flag is pretty lit. I'm pro the BC flag. I was looking at chat the whole time there. New Brunswick, New Jersey, or New Brunswick, Canada? No, I was talking about New Brunswick, the reimagining of the bowling company. Brunswick. I like Spain's flag. Like, here's the thing, if you have 3 stripes on your flag, at least put like a crest. Like the Italian flag, I hate to say it, I kind of see that and I go, you know what? That's a snooze. I see the Mexico flag and I go, is that a freaking eagle carrying like a snake? That's incredible. You gotta put a little something extra on the 3-stripe flags. Now, I gotta tell you, the Nordic countries, you also gotta get it together. Norway, Denmark, Sweden, Finland, they all have exactly the same flag. I know they're not the same color, but it's the same flag. It's like you didn't even choose the flags to try to make it easy for other people around the world to identify them at a moment's notice. Like, I guarantee in history, at some point, a ship sailed up with, like, the Swedish flag, and then someone talked to the king and was like, "Sire, we're being invaded by Norway." I guarantee it happened to you. And then they had to go to get a big leather-bound book from the archives of the kingdom, and then go like, "Oh, never mind, it's Sweden. Nothing to worry about." I just had to put some kind of... punchline on that one. So I'm sorry. Yes, Check the Wire Live will be on tomorrow. Well, I don't know. All of those countries had, like, you know, pretty strong military history. You know, Sweden did a lot of military stuff. I was gonna say Carolus Linnaeus. Who am I thinking of? The Lion King? Not Mustafa. You know what I'm talking about. Norway had all that King Ivar the Boneless, Harold Hardrada stuff. Like, Norway came super close to actually just owning England. Denmark? I don't know. Somehow Denmark was like the leader of all of them. This is my understanding of the Kalmar Union, at least. Why would you spin jump there? Yo, Nolek, thank you for the 10 gifted subscriptions. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's EU4 lore, sort of. I mean, it's real life history, but... Gustavus Adolphus, thank you. I always get my Gustavus Adolphus and my Carolus Linnaeuses mixed up. We're making that jump every time now. One is a warlord and one's a botanist. Yeah, but they both have us in their name. Gustavus Adolphus, Carolus Linnaeus. They rhyme. Like a J.J. Abrams movie. They don't rhyme in Swedish? Probably. You don't get to say that. You don't get to be like, they don't rhyme in Swedish, probably. We got Swedes in the chat. Hey, Nolek, thanks for even more gifted subscriptions. Thank you, thank you. A lot of Swedish people probably left when I made that joke at their expense. But, you know, if I had to tell you the truth, as a Vancouverite, I have more love for Sweden than for any of the other Nordic countries, specifically because of hockey exports. Marcus Naslund. Whew. The Sedin twins, Elias Pettersson, Alex Edler. Patrick Sundstrom. Louis Eriksson. I got nothing to... Okay, like... He's not a good hockey player for his contract, but he seems like a stand-up dude. I got nothing against Louis Eriksson. If somebody was like, hey, you want to get paid $6 million to play a game that you love, I would say, I already do that with Isaac. But, you know, assuming that I wasn't in that position, I would be like, sure, let's do that. And then if I sucked and the whole city turned on me, I would be like, I kind of get it. But simultaneously, what am I supposed to do? Be like, no, that's too much money. Yeah, well, come on. I'm not worth that. Just give me half. Screw that, dude. Milk the billionaire owner for all they're worth. Yahoo? Yahoo? Now you're talking. Exactly. 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 We got the momentum. Okay, this one jump. This one wafer-thin jump has gotten so touchy, dude. So I do know, this was mentioned in chat for context, did release 2 Isaac episodes called Morning this week. I'm just going to tell you, like, it's my bad, but it's a little of, like, the new YouTube studio hangover. Like, my whole workflow, keep in mind that, you know, I upload, like, I mean, if you count Twitch VODs, which you should in this case, because of the fact that, you know, I have to go into the YouTube studio and set the metadata on them and stuff like that. I upload like 7 to 10 videos daily on average. That hurt. So like my whole muscle memory is set, and it's like I've been doing it the same way for a long time. It's like maybe you lived in a house for like 10 years, and when you drive home, when you move to a new place, you're like, don't I take a right here? And then someone's like, you don't live there anymore. And you're like, oh, you're exactly right. What were you thinking with that jump? So there's muscle memory, basically. But also, yeah, I'm like, what does the title matter? Like, it's all made up. It doesn't matter at all. It's like not even supposed to be around in the area. Did you see Valorant had a patch? Might fix your issue? I am rededicating my channel to hating Valorant. I've actually put more time into Valorant just trying to get the anti-cheat to actually work for me so I can get my ass beat by Zoomers than I have put into any game I've covered on Northern Lion Tries this week. Like, I have 4 hours of Valorant playtime exclusively just looking at a screen that is like, hey, you gotta restart. By the way, the anti-cheat's required. So blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, I know the anti-cheat's required. But maybe the cure is worse than the disease on this one. So, I actually think that it sucks. I mean, I have to objectively say that that game is terrible. Because I've only seen the first 30 seconds of it. And I can't get past the screen. I need a walkthrough. The puzzle's too hard. Okay, try doing like a mid-jump this time. That was better. I have a similar issue. It's been going on for like a week. Yeah, I mean, there's fixes on Reddit, and they seem to work for maybe like 80% of people that have it. But there is like me and dozens of people like me that have done it all and are like, it still does not work. So. Turns out, this level, still pretty hard, honestly. It's still a pretty hard level. No, there's no way, like, I would never... I mean, there's so many reasons why it's a bad idea to make a video of me trying to install Valorant. One is, I already know anytime you say the VEED word, you get... Did you hear the anti-cheat's a rootkit? Oh, the anti-cheat's a rootkit, by the way. It installs itself with the... I don't want like 9,000... You think I haven't seen the arguments already? Like, I'm sick of it. Then the other thing is, the video is like not entertaining at all. And the other part that renders it technologically not feasible to begin with is that I have to reboot my computer every 2 seconds to see if the fix worked. Because it requires a full reboot. So it would be like the worst video of all time. Almost as bad as this video right here where I beat this level again. And I'm not one of those YouTubers who, like, whenever something like this happens, they're like, how do I film this and exploit this for personal gain? I'm more just like, I want it to be over with. I have a new rule, and I hate to say this because I see a lot of subs saying this. When I'm trying to be entertaining and I'm playing Mario Maker and somebody says focus, time them out for int.32/max value, please. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. Yo, this level is hard, though. This is the one with the thwomps. And the spinies. And the spin jumps. Okay. Oh, I remember this. Yeah. This was like the super level. We're probably gonna have to restart this world. How do we tell if he's being entertaining? Why don't you sub, and then I'll tell you. Oh, I slipped. I mean, losing 90 lives up to this point is not that bad when you consider that I definitely died like 100 times per checkpoint trying to do this in the first place. You've actually died 88 times. Somebody needs to go back to subtraction school. Unless I've had 10 1-ups, in which case you're absolutely right. Okay. You left. You did gain lives? Did I gain 10 exactly? Prove it. If I did, then the joke just... It's the same expense. The joke is still at the person's expense, but instead it's like, okay, we found the Melvin who's watching the stream with a pen and a pad. It's a different punchline, but the same sentiment. Ah! Melvin is my favorite insult. I think Melvin is, it's a great insult. Because you're actually complimenting someone by calling them smart. However, you're saying like you're smart in a way that is dumb. It's like, man, you're so intelligent. Why are you wasting your intelligence on all this dumb idiocy? So do we do just like a super? No, I guess we just do that. Okay. I remember that taking way longer. No, okay, you gotta plan better. I see what we're doing here. So my wife tells me when I watch the NLSS. Ooh. Ouchies. That's true, though. I don't encourage society's intellectuals to watch the NLSS. Now, my solo shows, yes, you should definitely watch those. We talk about a lot of important stuff. There we go. I remember. Then Apollo, last night, he was like, see how easy this is if you just go fast? And my God, the man is right. Then, the endless one-ups here. Right. What is the dumbest NLSS argument ever? I still think making and freezing peanut butter sandwiches to save 4 minutes a day and then lose it all during defrosting is a pretty dumb one. Mod pizza's not like an argument. That's just Josh being Josh. Like, the mod pizza stuff was just disrespectful, really. There's a difference. Oh. Rob's fridge. That's a good argument, don't get me wrong. I had a lot of fun with the Rob's fridge argument. That's not a good jump. Fish and chips? Well, I don't know. The fish and chips argument, I think, is actually good. Because I still maintain, like, people who eat fish and chips with their hands have a weird image of themselves where, like, that's somehow masculine. And eating fish and chips with a fork is like, you look like the adults in a Chuck E. Cheese commercial. Yeah, okay, we get it. You live in England. You eat it out of an old newspaper with a plastic fork. Sorry, a wooden tiny fork. We don't do that here. Nobody reads the newspaper, so they stop making them. It's all online these days. We need a better bounce off the side. Shoop, shoop, shoop. I think we're way too late on that one. It didn't shoot. Fish and chips is the perfect date meal, light and shareable. Light? It's two deep-fried foods. Now that was just not a good jump. If a deep-fried piece of meat is considered light, we need to re-examine our use of that word. Like when people say, I had a light lunch, and I'm like, oh, what'd you have? And they're like, a salad. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. I had a light lunch. What'd you have? 2 fillets of deep-fried cod with a side of 2 potatoes sliced up and fried in canola oil. Come on. You moved up the bar from dinner to lunch. That one I'll give you. But I draw a few distinctions between dinner and lunch. I understand that the idea is lunch is smaller and dinner's larger. But I personally think that's backwards. I like to eat a larger lunch and then a smaller dinner. Because, like, why do you need a large meal closest to your bedtime? Like, lunch, I'm hungry because I worked hard in the morning, and I need energy because I'm working hard in the afternoon. Dinner is like, I'm not doing anything. I'm just editing some TikToks. You're not going to cook a large meal in the middle of the day? I mean, that's true. But I'm talking in terms of, like, just calorie count. Oh, no, my one-up. Guess we'll have to do it first friggin' try. Nope. I guess that's true. There's less time in the workday. But I mean, sincerely, I take like a less than half-hour lunch break daily. However, I do also have access to like a full kitchen, which maybe makes things easier than like, hey, I'm gonna take like I'm gonna cook something real quick up in my office kitchenette. That makes sense. I can relate to that. We also do eat a super late dinner. Like, we eat dinner... It's been earlier lately, but usually we eat dinner around... Like, I would say 9:30 is, like, the earliest dinner we eat. Routinely, it's around 10. We're not making it. We're not making it. Just the way our schedules work out, honestly. You know, especially on a day like Mondays are usually the worst for it, because I stream until 6, then Cade streams like 6 to 9, sometimes 6 to 9:30. It actually, like, it fucks with me in a huge way in the before times when we were able to go visit my ancestral hometown. Because we're used to eating at like 9 p.m., even 10 Pacific time. Then we go visit my parents, and like, if my parents have a week off, they eat lunch at like 10:30 a.m. Let's go. Too many bounces. And they eat dinner at like... They always go like... They'll check in with me in the morning and be like, hey, is it cool if we eat around 5? And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. And then like around 3:45, I hear like the oven turn on. And then at 4:30, my mom's like, dinner's ready. And I'm like, that's sick. Don't get me wrong. You cooked it for me. I'm stoked to eat it. But at the same time, I'm eating dinner at 4:30, which is actually 1:30 my time. I usually eat lunch around like 2. So by the time it's like, you know, 10 p.m. Eastern, I'm like, I need to eat like a whole fucking turkey. Oh, he's done it. Okay. Maybe we can't double bounce that spiny right there. Here's the thing. When I was your dinner preference, to some extent, is inherited from your family's dinner preference, at least for like the early stages of your life, right? So like, I thought that the right time for dinner was always 6 p.m. Then I moved to Korea, and when I was that one, there's no excuse. When I lived in Korea, people were like, they'll message you at like 9 p.m. and be like, do you want to go out for dinner? And you're like, I had the same reaction that you guys are having right now. 9 p.m.? But people, you know, they live their life differently there. They, you know, maybe work a little bit later, and then they get out and they go to a restaurant at like 8 or 9. That one I tried to short circuit it. So I kind of picked up like the late dinner time. And when I moved here, when I moved back home after leaving Korea, my parents were like, you know, again, as usual, hey, dinner will be ready around 5:30. And then, you can do it. No, you can't. It's actually ready by 5. Then when I moved to Vancouver, started eating dinner like pretty late, probably around like the 8, 9 range, and just kind of stuck with it. I like it that way, honestly. Go. Oh, I tried the short circuit. I should have just bounced. I think for me at now, like the same way people are like 9, and they think that's crazy. If you tell me you eat dinner at 5:30, I'm like, you're insane. What are you, like 800 years old? No, I just work a normal job. Okay, fair enough. You got me on that one. Like 5:30 for me is like, you're still getting the early bird special. Yo, they're hitting you with the built-in heartbeat. The military stopped serving dinner at 5:15. Luckily for everybody on Earth, I don't live my life according to the standards set out by the American military. Otherwise, I'd be playing Escape from Tarkov right now. Shouldn't have even gone for it. Shouldn't have even gone for it. The good news is, I'm pretty sure when you zero out, you just start on the same level again, but with no checkpoints. But it does represent a colossal failure to not even get through the first world. That's what I get, though. I was thinking, you know, that because I've gotten better at Mario, I thought these levels would be a walk in the park. They're tough, though. They're still tough. Wait it out. Wait it out. That's the story of Icarus? No. The story of Icarus is when you get sick, drink wine, and when you want to buy something, trade hearts for it. That's a game over, baby. I will be this level, then maybe we'll move on to Dark Souls a little faster than expected. Are you going to stream the Isaac DLC? That's a good question. I will, you know, I was originally going to answer that snarky, which is not a nice thing to do. But the snarkiness was not motivated at the person asking the question. It's instead like at Isaac itself. So like, I may, but it's too early for me to say what will like, what we're gonna do, because I still have no idea when the DLC is coming out. Like, it's gonna be my plans for content in that game are gonna be way different if it comes out in like July than if it comes out in October. Let me put it that way. Why? We're having a child in October or like late September, so that it's gonna put a real damper on it for a bit, for sure. And as much as I hate to say it, I think my child's birth is a little bit more important than the Isaac DLC. Ooh, you... Oh, we're too fast. We're too fast. So, like, I can't in good conscience be like, yeah, we're gonna stream the crap out of it. Like, we'll see what happens. Like... Ideally, it won't be a problem. and it'll just come out either late enough or alternatively early enough that it won't be an issue. But like the longer that time goes on without hearing anything about the DLC, I'm like, you know, first off, it's their game. Like, there's no rush. They can do, like, I'm not suggesting, hey, like, work harder, get it out a little faster. I'm just saying, like, for me, it's, the timing could be screwed up. But I would never, like, get in their mentions and be like, hey, can you guys, like, get cracking? Because I'm going to have a baby soon. It's going to really screw up my work weeks. Now's when I buy my Halloween stuff. Really? Not supposed to buy my Halloween stuff? So anyway, I have no idea is the answer to that question. I thought it was coming out like Q2. I never know when people say Q2 if they mean like the actual second quarter or like the fiscal. Look at that, easy money. The fiscal second quarter, but like either way. Yeah, the second gaming quarter. Late summer, early fall. Oh, son of a bitch. Oh, I thought you would... Yeah, that makes sense that you would go back that far, actually. Don't cheese this section, it's easy. No, like, I watched Apollo last night go through that exact mindset and die 40 to 50 times. So we will just... Oh, we'll cheese it. We'll cheese it. This is the last level in this world too, right? I think it is. Well, maybe we'll take a little peek at World 2. I mean, a little peek never hurt anybody. Oh! We almost had it. You can only have one world uploaded at a time. No. You can only have one super world uploaded at a time. You can have up to 8 worlds or something. Maybe 5 worlds? I don't know. You just cheese it, and then you fall off the side. Feel like you ran into this problem the last time you played this level and tried to go slow. Dying like 7 times at on a hard level is not a that's not a problem. Oh, I didn't expect to get it there. That's like the way I do it. I feel like I should mention again, I watched the level creator say that cheesing is the worst way to do it and then die trying not to cheese it 30 times, as mentioned in my previous email. Good bounces. Good bounces. Good bounces still. You... That one, maybe we go all the way in. Maybe that one we go all the way in. I was in the rhythm, and then the rhythm changed. then they changed what it was. Okie dokie. Little half cheese on that one. I know I said I wasn't gonna, or I was gonna play a little bit of World 2. I've decided that me 5 minutes ago is stupid. And we will move straight to Dark Souls. Once we finish this. Me 5 minutes ago was a fool, and he did not know what he was talking about. How smart are you going to be 5 minutes from now? Still dumb in the purest sense, but like hopefully smarter than I am right now. That's the goal. You want to die as the least dumb version of yourself. That's my thoughts on that subject. If you die and you say to yourself, man, I wish I was as smart as I was when I was 22, you've screwed yourself up somehow. That is like 60 bad years. What if you just yeeted it? I was better at math at 22. Yeah, but you were probably like worse at like doing your dishes. And like treating your family with respect. You know, skills that are actually important. Yo, Ranger. Thank you for the gifted subscriptions. I was glancing. Send it. That's sendable. Not. I didn't believe. You're right. I became Tom Glancy. Theodore. I did that the intended way. You can't mix and match. If you're gonna cheese, go all the way cheese. Don't half cheese. I do want to do it speed strat way. Oh. You know, there's a little like, we're already half cheesed. You're okay. That is new tech. All right. You're not coming back, are you? I would definitely say he's gotten better at level design. There's no doubt about that. In the same way that I was worse last year and am better now, he's made some improvements as well. Yeah, like iron sharpens iron. We've improved each other. When did you realize not to take everything chat says to heart? I mean, it's a constant struggle. I've tried to have a little bit more awareness of it lately, just because I know that, like, sometimes people will say some, like, outright, like, real rude shit. But then I look at the name, and I'm like, oh, they're probably just, like, mentally suffering because of, like, the quarantine stuff. So try to be, like, a little bit more sympathetic towards that. It still gets to me sometimes, for sure. But I've done a much better job, I would say, over the past, like, 2 or 3 years of just, like, really, like, bottling it all up and then letting it all go in Discord at the end of, like, a bad stream. And then I go, like, do you guys have this guy with this username in your chat? And they go, oh, yeah. And then I pull up your chat logs and I go, look at this. Like, what the heck is wrong with them? And then they pull up their chat logs and go, holy shit, he's saying stuff like that in my chat too. And then we just laugh about it. And we have, like, a healthy outlet with one another. Remember when you yeeted that dude in chat yesterday? Here's the thing. The number one... I shouldn't give you the keys to the kingdom. It used to be that, like, resident sleeper was the worst thing to say. The number one thing now that gets me is when somebody joins chats and writes an essay about why they are special and don't want to watch this stream in particular. And I just read it and I go, like... You could just leave. When does it happen? About 400 times at the start of yesterday's stream. Go, 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 go. God damn it. I didn't say anything until Dan called me out. You're fine. It's the people who write an essay about why they're leaving and then pretend to leave but don't actually leave, where I'm like, man, this is just a real waste of everybody's time. Or people who have been in chat for like 3 hours and they're like just complaining about the game the whole time. I don't mean to get negative, because it's like 80% not that at worst. Most of the time it's like 98% not that. But like sometimes you're in PUBG, everyone will be like laughing and having a good time. And then someone will be like, PUBG Resident Sleeper. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? Like, what do you go to the site for? I don't know, dude. I thought people went to the site to be entertained, but some people are like, I go to the site to see that the streamer is playing a game that I like. And when they are, I say, ha ha ha, and then I'm out. Oh. Like, if you don't want to watch PUBG, that's fine. Like, there's, like, games that when... Ooh, let's go. Even people I like watching, when they are playing, like, Tarkov, I'm like, I'm out. This isn't for me. No disrespect. Alright, I've decided I at least have to see what the first level is. Yeah, I don't even have the courtesy to write an essay. I don't even give them actionable feedback. I remember Wolf 2-1. This is the level that turns on its own axis. No, me 10 minutes ago was an idiot. Now I want to play a little bit more Mario. We got onto a good thread of conversation. This one is easy anyway. I respect this. He's trying something new with this one. And, like, I don't think it's been too bad lately, but definitely, like, it has been... Well, maybe it's not worse lately, or I just have less patience for it. But I think, like, the atmosphere has been slightly worse lately, for sure. Like, between PUBG and then, like, you know, beating Control, but then reading a couple of, like, Control essays on the subreddit, it's like... I can't believe he did nothing in his power to enjoy this game. And I'm like, I enjoyed it. I just, like, you know. I got a little tilted, but I still was like, it's pretty good. People are like, he did everything he could to not enjoy this. Almost as if there's a conspiracy. And I'm like, if I could just play, like, a go outside card, everybody would benefit from it. I would benefit from it. You would benefit from it. We'd all be happier. And then PUBG yesterday, Divinity like 2 weeks ago. And then, like, there is an element of the Checkpoint League, like, toxicity as well. Not just in Apollo's chat, but in my own chat as well. Where I'm like... I've lost a little bit of patience, for sure. So, I take... Not smart. Like, I take control of, like, or I take ownership of, like, my own role in this for sure. But I am like, man, the toxicity seems higher lately than it has been in a bit. And it's something that happens on, like, a regular basis. Sometimes you just gotta, like, you know, look at things in the community again and be like, okay, this was working, like, a few months ago. Is it working now? Maybe yes, maybe no. We'll figure it out, but it's just, that's where we're at right now. Okay, let me back. Well, like, I'm not actually bothered by chat. It's really just, the thing that bothers me is, like, the secondary thing that happens. Because here's, in all, you know, the only way you can get through this is by talking it out. I'd talk, you know, with other people on a daily basis with, like, respect and understanding. And, sometimes I'll, like, say something that's, like, meant to be a joke to chat. And then there will be, like, 100 replies in chat that are, like, a bad faith, pedantic argument about the joke. And it just mostly doesn't bother me. But sometimes it starts off like a chain reaction of, like, why am I even trying to, like, be entertaining? Those are also jokes. Yeah, but they're, like, not good, and they're at my expense, for the most part. Like, they're usually not as good as my jokes. But on the other hand, also are me the butt of the joke instead of you being the butt of the joke, which is very unfair. You see, this level turns itself 90 degrees halfway through. And we just, like, it really, it's like, There's a good metaphor for this I'm working on. Like, let me think about it, because it's definitely... Oh, I tried to jump down. There's like a... As you work on one side of it, the other side becomes like undone a little bit. Can you think of a metaphor for this? There's something there. I mean, I guess it's kind of like whack-a-mole. That's a decent way to describe it. Like, for a long time, the YouTube community was really toxic. Well, it was somewhat toxic. And then I went into the comments, and now the YouTube comments are like out of control positive. It's great. Meanwhile, on Twitch, people are going, lol, YouTube comments. And I'm like, y'all don't realize the YouTube comments are better right now. They're just in a better spot. And then I get like mind fricked, because I'm like, it's the same people. So I'm like, what is the atmosphere that I'm contributing to here? That in one environment, people are like, we like you. And then in the other environment, they're like, when you said cheddar is the best kind of cheese to put on a sandwich, you are a fool. The best kind of cheese is obviously pepper jack. That is a fool's opinion. Well, I don't know. An old cheddar can be good on a sandwich, but it's kind of like, it's beside the point. Right? Oh, goodbye. It's beside the point right now, is what I'm trying to say. Help. So it's a constant balancing act. Let's put it that way. I did exactly the same thing. Have you used TypeScript? This is not the time, okay? Yes, I've used TypeScript, alright? I used it in my Angular class. But this is not a pressing concern right now. Send it. What can individuals do in Twitch chat to make it better? Well, like, I guess the only thing I would say is, like, recognize honestly if you're part of the problem or not part of the problem. Like, up until this point, it being unvoiced, as far as I'm concerned, you're completely innocent. However, now that it has been voiced, if you're still rude in chat, you know, you're on yeet notice, is basically what it comes down to. But, like, it's not bad. The problem is, here's the thing, is it's like, especially in, like, Checkpoint League, the first few weeks were fine, but, like, after that, it's gotten, like, really bad, to the point where I'm like, there have been times where I'm like, maybe I'll just, like, throw this week. Like, maybe I just, like, won't show up. And I'll just give my opponent the victory, just to get, like, a little bit of, like, an extra mental break from it. But I'm like, the whole chat, like, every time you die is like, dead, 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 choke, dead, 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 dead. And then you're like, wow, it seems like nobody is, like, having a good time watching this. And then they're like, why does he seem tilted? And it's like, I'm tilted because there's 5,000 people here. And every single one of them is only talking about the negative, is what it seems like anyway. Oh, we missed the light blocks. And then, when I finish the show, everybody's like, that was the greatest show ever. And I'm like, well, you could have said something during the hour when we were doing it then. Instead of, like, the whole audience is in kayfabe. I'm like, you don't get into kayfabe. We're in kayfabe. So I think it's just, I don't know. It's complicated is what it's at. One thing I will say is, like, playing the heal sucks. Definitely, like, if you find yourself in my position, my suggestion would be definitely, like, do not do that. Instead, just play Mario. It's a thankless maneuver, in my opinion. The juice on that one ain't worth the squeeze. Ooh. Now that was a frame perfect jump. He did it again. I can't believe it. We're okay. We're okay. You just do this and then okay. Oh, dude. It's textbook. Do it this week. Dan needs a win. That's what I want to do is, like, win next week, obviously. And then just train Dan to be my surrogate. I really thought that would work. Not surrogate mother. Surrogate Mario. One sec. Okay. That's a good moment. That's an Ari Aster moment, right? There. Watch out for saws. It's a big jump. Dude, it's the easiest level ever made. Anyway, let's come back. We'll play some Dark Souls. I've said my piece. I'll see you in 3 minutes for some The Nameless King. Then again, I could just take a peek at what this next level is. It's Platformality 1-1. Just a small glance at what this level is. I mean, it's Platformality 1-1. How long could it possibly take? I feel like that's not how you're supposed to do that one. That is new tech. Okay. Checkpoint 1, no problem. We could just take a peek. Just a small peek at checkpoint 2. Just something to take the edge off. Oh, okay. Now we'll move on. I really thought there was a chance. Anyway, I'll see you in 180 seconds or so. See you momentarily. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I had a good